Hey guys, last time we began to talk about masculinity and what is it to be a true man? What is it to be a real man? Is it the image of the violent man, of the tough man? Or is it the image of the more gentle, sweet man? Which one is it? I believe it's neither, because they're both external. You see, both of these images are born out of a need. When society is at war and it needs strength and heroes, then men are told that you need to be tough, you need to man up, you need to toughen up. But when, after decades, I've seen men, their strength gone bad, become bullies. They come home and they're angry. They come from the war, they're angry. They come from their jobs and they're angry. And we've seen enough of that. So now we say, no, men should be the other way. They should become more sweet and gentle, more understanding. Well, there's nothing wrong with either, with a healthy dose of either, of strength and of understanding and gentleness. But the problem with these two things is that they're external. The external images projected onto us. And as a result, there's a lot of pressure to man up, to toughen up, or to calm down and just be the new age kind of type of man. Well, which one is it? Neither one. It's neither one, because they're both external, as I said. The true masculinity, true manhood, doesn't contain this effort, doesn't contain this division within, this ambivalence. I'm not really that, but I'll try my hardest. That's not life from the heart. That's not abundant life. Life was never meant to be lived like that. I believe that true manhood is within. True manhood is within the masculine core of the heart of every boy that comes into this world. Each one of us. Each one of us. But something happens to us as we grow up. We lose ourselves. Somehow, something is set against us so that we can change, we can grow to be something that we're not. We fake, we pose our way through life. And to picture that, to help you picture that, I'll share a story from my life. When I was 15 years old, I got assaulted by some people. It wasn't a big deal. They just gave me a black eye. But what they did to my heart was what mattered. That night, my belief that I was a coward, I was a weakling, deepened. I couldn't fight back, not because I was physically unable. It's because I just didn't have it in me. I didn't have a strong relationship to my father, so I didn't have his strength. I never believed that, yes, I can be a man one day. So my belief that I was a coward deepened that day, and from that day, the division began. The division between my true self, which I believed to be my true self, and the self that I became. I started to lift weights and I started to present to the world one image that was totally different than the image I believed that I already was. And fast forward 5 more years. I'm now my finished version of the poser. I wear a black shirt, black trousers, and I'm working for this businessman. I'm only 24. I'm young, I'm happy. I date girls. I've got this income that is pretty good for 24 years old student. And I get to drive this flashy car, and people see me with it, and people, some people envy me maybe. Anyway, I said to my boss one time, I said, do you want to come to my village, see where I come from? So we drive down to the city of Varna, which is something like Brighton is in England. That we call it the sea capital, a big cosmopolitan city on the sea. We drove down, and we went to my village. We stayed there, and in the night we drove to the town, which is like 10 miles away. We went clubbing. We drove back, and I was driving, and I'll never forget that. I drove. I drove past the fields in my village, the fields in which I played as a child. As a child, I did a lot of fishing with my friends and a lot of exploration. I was so much, and I am now already again, but I was so much into nature. I was full of wonder. When I went fishing with my best friends, it was not about the fish. It was about the water, the sun, the animals, and it was just beautiful. And this was kind of the magic of my life, if you wish. In nature, I lost myself. But after this happened, after this incident with the bullies happened, something in me broke. So I drifted away from that. The nightclubs became my new environment, and I was ashamed of anything to do with the old one. Anyway, when I was 24, driving past in this expensive BMW, and my boss and his girlfriend are in the back seat, and I remember entering the village, looking, something caught my eye on the left. I'll never forget that, and I saw the full moon, and the moon was illuminating that field, the field through which the little river went, the same river that I used to go to almost every day in the summer vacation, especially. I looked at the moon, and something in it made me turn my eyes very quickly. But before I had collected my thoughts, it had already pierced me. Driving this car, this expensive car, wearing this black shirt and black trousers, I just felt that the moon was accusing me, as if the moon was looking at me saying, "Do you remember? Where are you? What have you become? Do you remember? Do you remember? Where is the little child, full of wonder and joy, as he played, as he was running after this, the water turtles and the snakes and the fish? Where is that little child? What have you become?" You see, I didn't become a bad man. I didn't have to kill anyone. I didn't have to beat up anyone. No. But I had drifted away from my real self. I was ashamed of that little child. When I was 15, that little child had to die to make room for the man, what I thought was the man. It was wrong. It was murder. It was crime. That night, something in me, I felt the pangs of sorrow as I saw the same field. Something in that moon, in that field, accused me of cheating. You're a liar. You're a fake. You're a poser. You've done something wrong and you know it. I knew it, and I buried that for years. 1 year after that, I went to England, and that's where my life kind of started to change. And years after that, and I'm still walking that journey of transformation. I'll share a lot of my journey with you, but now I just want to leave you with that thought. Imagine being the man in the BMW, the man with expensive clothes, the man in the expensive car that is driving past the spot where you first felt the wonder and the magic of life within you. I believe that you are that man. I believe that all men are that man. We've lost ourselves. But I can tell you now, if you're that man in the BMW, I can tell you now that you don't have to be. You don't have to be what the world expects you to be. There is a better way. You don't need to fake your way through life anymore. There is a better way. The true heart, the true masculine heart is within you. And I hope that in this journey you discover it. You recover it and you start living from it. Stay with me and let's do this together.